We are ready. Well, good morning. At the outset, let me thank everyone here at Story for hosting us this morning. In New York, the story this week is fashion, and the reason is that New York's Fashion Week begins tomorrow. And we expect that combined with February's installment, this year's Fashion Week will attract a total of nearly 250,000 visitors and have an $865 million impact on our city's economy. Fashion Week, as you know, puts the spotlight on our city's entire fashion industry, and with good reason, because I don't think there's any argument about it now. New York is fashion central. We're the headquarters of more than 900 fashion companies, and that's better than double the number located in Paris, our closest competitor. So when somebody says Paris is the fashion capital of the world, no. It's us. You can tell them that. We have double the number of houses. And it's the same thing when Cornell talked about coming here to bring more high tech. Somebody said, oh, you'll never be the educational center of the country. Boston, where I grew up, is the educational center of the country. When I pointed out that we have more undergraduate and graduate students in New York than Boston has people, it sort of ended that argument. So we're going to be the IT capital, we are the education capital, and we certainly are the fashion capital. And the fashion industry employs something like 173,000 people in our city, and that's nearly 6% of our entire workforce. And the industry generates nearly $10 billion in wages annually. So an awful lot of people work in fashion at all levels, from designers to distribution, from people that build the stores, people that manage the stores, people that set policy, finance, publicize, everything. It's an enormous industry. It's a very big part of the economy, but it also makes New Yorkers proud and realize that we are the place to be. When it comes to intellectual capital, if you need that for your business, no matter what industry you're in, you come to New York City. This morning, we are going to unveil our latest step to keep new fashion jobs growing in New York City. We are announcing the winners of Project Pop-Up NYC. And I'm sure all of you were waiting for that, particularly the reporter from the New York Post, who just for days has been saying to me, when is Project Pop-Up NYC going to announce its winners? Well, today, I'm glad you're here, and I'm sure it's going to be on the front page of the Post. A little bit of pressure. There's a competition for Economic Development Corporation. Our Economic Development Corporation launched back in June 28th. June 28th, its goal to help up-and-coming fashion companies in our city take off down the runway to success, and that's going to happen here all September long, when Story will host the 11 winners of Project Pop-Up NYC. Retailers who won the competition will get free space here and get to keep 100% of the sales that they make, and startups whose cutting-edge digital concepts are giving fashion forward a whole new meaning will also have free space to display and promote their products and services. And I want to thank Story's founder, Rachel Shechtman, for giving Project Pop-Up winners such great exposure. And let me add that they'll also be getting expert advice in areas such as marketing and public relations. A team of judges drawn from the top echelons of fashion design, communications, financing, and retailing selected them from more than 130 fashion startups who took part in this competition, which gives you some idea of just how much new business activity there is in this fast-changing, fast-growing fashion industry. We'll hear more about the contest and its winners in a few minutes, but first let me stress that Project Pop-Up is just one of our administration's initiatives aimed at supporting the long-term growth of New York's fashion industry. For example, Design Entrepreneurs NYC, a mini MBA course for designers created in partnership with the Fashion Institute of Technology, otherwise known as FIT, received 165 applications for 35 slots. Those 35 designers will be graduating this month. Fashion Draft NYC is another program created with Parsons, the New School for Design, a school that's through its innovative Sheila C. Johnson Design Center is making its links to the fashion industry even stronger. Fashion Draft NYC brings college seniors from across the country to New York for interviews for management track fashion positions. And more than 350 applicants competed for the 25 slots in the first Fashion Draft weekend, which took place in February, and we're bringing it back for a second installment next year. Now, the reason behind all of these efforts is simply this. The strength of our fashion industry helps explain why our economy has more than recovered the jobs lost during the last national recession, and it's why we're in better shape economically than many other parts of the country. And our continued work to spur the industry's growth, just like our success in promoting film and TV production, commercial bioscience, and our tech sector, are going to keep paying dividends for job growth for many, many years to come. So on that note, let me turn the floor over to the founder of Story, Rachel Shechtman. Rachel?
Welcome. Thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. I'm going to keep thank you short, but the one person who I do want to thank is Eric Johnson from NYC EDC, because without him reaching out to me and being persistent, none of us would be in Story. So thank you, Eric. So I've heard many people mumble, what story, what story? So we opened almost a year ago, and we're a space that has the point of view of a magazine. We change every 4 to 8 weeks like a gallery, and we sell things like a store. So it's kind of looking at retail like media. So we are thrilled to host Project Pop-Up, and I moved to this city 12 years ago. My first job was in fashion, and it's a great opportunity to be able to give back to the community and support all these startups. There are 11 winners. You're going to hear from a couple of them, but I just wanted to acknowledge them because they are all here today, and I don't have a list, so it will be great to see if I can do it. So we have Of a Kind, we have Outlier, Shoptiques, sorry, I'm looking around, Refashioner, Aha Life, I'm counting, Have to Have, Style for Hire, A Custom, and a couple others, so I apologize for that. But we will circulate a release. There's Perch over there that has a fun demonstration to explore, and thank you all for coming.
Who'd you miss?
I got Perch.
Yes, I just counted that.
And Snapette. I apologize.
Okay.
It's nerves. All right, thank you all.
Did a lot better than I could. Next, Josh Wallack, the Chief Operating Officer of the Economic Development Corporation. I don't think people generally know what EDC does, but they really are the impetus behind so many things in New York City that create the jobs, which gives us the tax base to take care of those that need help, to provide services for people that want to live here, and to spread the word that New York is the place to come for your medical care, for your education, for tourism, and to live and work and start a business. Josh is going to tell us a little bit about Project Pop-Up and how it fits with EDC's other fashion industry initiatives. Josh?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Today's announcement really represents another step forward in EDC's efforts to promote and grow the city's fashion industry. And by providing space to these emerging fashion retailers and fashion technology companies, Project Pop-Up will help create the next wave of fashion professionals in New York City. As the mayor said, it's a huge employer, accounting for almost 6% of the city's workforce. But these innovative companies are also evidence that in the 21st century, emerging industries such as technology are playing an increasingly important role with other industries such as fashion. And we're seeing in New York an exciting combination of our legacy industries like fashion, like media, like finance, combining with technology to come up with new ideas and new concepts that are going to drive innovation in New York in the next century. And so for this reason, we have been focused in recent years on supporting those key legacy industries while at the same time supporting the technology and other emerging industries to make sure we have the strongest and most diverse economy possible. These companies truly represent the future of New York City, and thanks to Mayor Bloomberg's support, through initiatives like this, they'll be prepared to grow and succeed. And so I want to thank the mayor, I want to thank Rachel, and the EDC team, Eric Johnson and Megan Agandi, who worked tirelessly to make this happen, partners on all of our different fashion initiatives throughout the city, and congratulations to all the winners today. Thank you very much.
Josh, thank you. I don't think people stop to realize how fast industries change. People think fashion is one of those industries where the only thing that changes is the style. But that's certainly not true. You use new materials, you put the things together differently, you market things differently, you measure people differently. You're going to hear about that. You sell in different places through different mediums. The fashion industry perhaps is as changing an industry as I've ever seen. And I've always thought somebody should write a book about how certain people manage to stay in an industry through many cycles and yet succeed. If you think about music, Aretha Franklin and Mick Jagger and Madonna and people like that have been for decades at the top in an industry where people generally last one record. And in fashion, there are people who've gone through so many different cycles. I'm going from here to give an award to Oscar de la Renta. Oscar de la Renta has been at the top of his game since he dressed Jackie Kennedy, who was in the early 60s. Or Caroline Herrera, or Ralph Lauren, who sells and keeps changing no matter what happens. Ralph Lauren is always there with the next thing. Some people are able to do it, some people aren't, and what we're here to do is to try to not only get industries to come here, but to help you have the tools and the exposure so you can perhaps be somebody that does that, that lasts more than one record or one cycle or one book or whatever the case may be. Let me introduce two of those who seem like they're well on their ways to doing new things and hopefully will be around for a long time. First, winner of Project Pop-Up, starting with Olga Vidisheva, the founder of a new online nationwide fashion marketplace. And here's selling stuff in a different way, Shoptiques.
Thank you, guys. We are incredibly excited we were excited to apply, and we're incredibly excited that we were selected. So Shoptiques actually aggregates local businesses across the country and across the world. Those stores that have a storefront, but they're small businesses and they carry unique pieces. So this is even even more exciting for us because not only Project Pop-Up is giving exposure to Shoptiques, but also giving exposure to over 160 boutiques that we represent. So it's a great accomplishment. If I had to break it down on why we applied and why we're so excited to be selected, I would have to say that one is its credibility. I think in a startup, and especially how cluttered the space in a sense is for the startups and how many startups there are, it is incredibly exciting to be selected in a program like this that is sponsored by the city and really is a big initiative for the city. It puts you kind of in a different fundamentally league of startups, so it's very exciting in that sense. Second piece for me was about learnings. So we represent, as I said, our clients are boutiques. So for me, it's incredible learning to learn what it is like to have a storefront. How do you merchandise it differently? What do you learn? It's also incredible to speak to real people. So I wouldn't otherwise have a storefront. So it's really cool to have real customers come in here and talk to them about what's important to them. It's also about exposure. It's exposure to mentors like Andy Dunn and people who are real leaders in the city and in the tech and fashion community. It's really incredible. It's about exposure to leaders and really getting on the radar of all of you and getting on the radar of press and marketing initiatives. It's also exposure to new customer base. I think I cannot really kind of tell you enough about this. As a startup, you're competing to get attention of people in such a huge space. So it's really incredible to have a storefront. We are kicking off with 3 New York local businesses, 3 New York boutiques. So come check it out and just come talk to us and give us all feedback. And we're so excited to be here and very grateful. Thank you.
And the next speaker is the co-founder and CEO of Custom. It is a new company that uses body scanning technology to help custom fit the clothing you buy. I think this is as good an example as you'll ever need of how technology is getting into all of our lives and changing the ways that we thought about things before. Jamal Modla. Jamal.
Hi, I'm Jamal Modla. I got to raise this a little. CEO and co-founder of Custom Apparel. Custom Apparel is a New York City-based clothing brand that believes that you should be the body model for your own clothing. So it fits you better, it's easier to shop for, and it makes you look great. We do this using a new 3D body scanning technology and our own proprietary software, so we can custom fit and allow you to custom design each item for your own personal sense of style, choosing different fabrics, different stitchings, different options. Right now, we're selling men's custom suits and shirts, and through Project Pop-Up New York City, we're going to be pre-launching our revolutionary women's custom fit jeans. So if women out there have ever had a chance or a problem finding jeans, we're here to help you out. I'd like to thank the EDC as well as Project Pop-Up New York City and the Mayor's Office for this awesome opportunity. It's really great for us because one of our new business strategies and models is how can we work with pre-existing retailers to bring our machine to the store and sell through like a regular brand? And how can we bring in customers and see what they have to say about the body scanning technology and what they like about our product and how we can really innovate and push things forward. It's a new world out there. We believe that custom fit and mass customization is going to be a really big thing, and we want to play a big part of it, and I think New York City is going to be a big part of it. So thank you so much, and we look forward to having you guys all come through and check us out.
Jamal, thank you. And finally, let me introduce a member of the selection committee that chose our Project Pop-Up winners. Andy Dunn is the founder of the men's clothing and accessories company, Bonobos, and he is one of those people that picks winners.
So 4 years and 300 days ago or so, I came to New York with 2 suitcases full of pants. And we had a really simple mission, which was to eradicate a plague that we see upon humanity called khaki diaper butt. Khaki diaper butt, if you've seen it, is where men's khakis just don't fit very well. And we had an amazing fit of men's pants. In fact, 2 suitcases full, but we also had a vision of how we could actually deliver a better customer experience. And the belief was that by combining the power of a great retail product and brand with the power of the internet, we could actually build a better customer experience. At the time, folks said, you've got better fitting men's pants, how are you actually going to build a brand online? And we came to New York City based on 2 things. One, trying to escape my dating life in Silicon Valley. So it was also an act of leaving, but it was also an act of arriving in New York because we have apparel manufacturing here. We also have talent in retail here. We have the PR industry in fashion here. And we've got, I think, the most exciting collision that we've seen between 2 industries in a long time, between retail and tech. And in that first year, out of my apartment at 17th and Irving, we sold 12,000 pairs of pants, brought in 5,000 customers, did $2 million of sales, broke even, and now here we are 5 years later, 250,000 pairs of pants sold, just named one of top 50 places to work in New York City by Crain's, and with an amazing team of 100 employees and growing, are helping to define what I think is the next era in retail. And so 30 years ago was Mickey Drexler with vertical brick and mortar. I think we're now onto the vertical e-commerce era. And we're now going to see that e-commerce is going to become the primary channel of distribution for great brands. And offline experiences like Story are going to be about a great experience. And so it's an honor today to share the stage with some amazing entrepreneurs. First of all, Rachel, who I met 6 months into this and who said, hey, let me tell you about a company called Gilt Group. And I said, what's that? And now to see what she's built with Story and entrepreneurs like Jamal and Olga, who are also revolutionizing retail via the collision of retail and tech. Think about what Shoptiques is doing, taking all this inventory in boutiques and actually making it available online, giving entrepreneurs of these boutiques a chance to win in the same way that Blue Nile revolutionized the diamond business. Think about what Jamal's doing, actually delivering custom fit. You can get scanned and connect the pattern making to the actual production of denim that fits a woman perfectly. So it's extraordinary to be here. I salute the mayor, Rachel, and the whole team for what's been created. New York has always been the capital of the fashion world. What we don't know is what the collision of retail and technology means. I happen to believe it means great things for New York. Thanks so much.
Andy, thank you. Let me just once again come back to what I said before about these industries keep changing, but there are some people that keep surviving. Diana Ross in music and Diana von Furstenberg in fashion, who most of you would know very well. These are people who've changed as technologies change, as well as styles and materials and ways to distribute. And I couldn't be more optimistic about America and particularly New York's place in the fashion industry. It wasn't very long ago that the zeitgeist was all the fashion was, or all the manufacturing was moving to China. That's not true. It may still be, if you're going to make 1 million white T-shirts, that it's done in China. Although China's having its problems, it's moved out of there to Indonesia and to Bangladesh. If your strategy is lowest price, that's not what New York's about, and that's not a business I think that you can win in. There's always somebody who'll be able to do it lower price than you. But if your business is creating something and satisfying customers' needs, then you really do want to be here in this city and here in this country, because this is where we recognize value, where we recognize creative people, and we move our monies and our business to where that is. And you have the media to distribute your information, you have the financial world to get your financing, you have a real estate world that can get you space. You have people that want to work, that come here from around the world, and they may work with their hands on a needle, or they may work with a calculator, but whatever they do, this is where the best and the brightest are. Let me also, just on a totally unrelated topic, today is the last day before a lot of kids go back to school. The beaches are closed, there are no lifeguards there, and the forecast is for very severe riptides. We just don't need anybody drowning. So if you in the media, particularly the radio and television media, can just get the message out, don't go in the water when there's no lifeguards, and there isn't going to be today, and it's just phenomenally dangerous. I don't care how much you want to cool off, it isn't worth drowning, so be careful. Other than that, it's just another example of another industry doing well in New York City. Thanks, and good luck to all of you, and congratulations.